Darby, do you want to go out? Hi, Amy. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Melanie. This is exciting. Okay. So, hi. So this is my first time recording a meeting. So I think it's working. It says recording, so awesome. All right, we'll wait just a couple minutes for other people to show up. I've only got 40, so I've got to like maximize it. How's everybody doing?
How are you? That's Melanie.
Hi, Melanie. I can barely hear you.
Hi.
Maybe I turned it down.
I am building a party template while I am doing the party. So if I look like I'm scattered, that's why.
I have done that before. All right, and my dog once again has decided that he wants to just hang out in his crate with the door open and chew on the bars. So we're gonna have some nice sound effects unless my husband can coax him out. So yay. All right, we'll give it just one more minute, see if we can get other people on. Darby, do you want to go? All right, who else is showing up? Hi, Kaylin. Okay, and I also have to remember how to screen share too. That's going to be fun. See, here's my puppy. He's a 51-pound puppy. All right. Oh, we got someone else coming in. All right. I think we might have enough people to go ahead and get started because I've only got 40 minutes and I want to kind of get to it quickly. So, as we're doing, if you're on, go ahead and mute yourself so we don't get background noise. I don't know how to mute everybody. I'm such a rookie at this, you guys. I'm sorry. I don't know how to do this. All right, you guys. We're gonna give it a try. All right. So, welcome to our first Freedom Leader only training. This is very exciting stuff. I think it was because I missed all of you guys, but while we were hanging out in my husband's uncle's cabin while I was on vacation, I was going back through my convention notebook and I was just like, man, I had forgotten like all of these things already and it had only been a few weeks. And just thinking about how, you know, those of us who were at convention, we felt all the rah-rah and it was awesome. And then we went back to real life and then we had the kit special and we're all really tired. And we're like, do I really want to do this right now? And so I thought that we needed a little rah-rah. We needed some of that convention awesomeness to get us, you know, getting us excited for Tiara time and getting us excited to go to Branson and, you know, hang out there and see each other again, right, in January. So that's where the idea for this Tulsa to Branson was born, just to help us remind ourselves of the what we remembered from convention and help us get motivated again if we're kind of a little bit tired. So if you're just tuning in, go ahead and mute yourself and we will get started. And I can't see the chat, but if you have questions, type them and we'll answer them at the end. So here we go. They're not letting me go. There we go. All right, so the first thing is, why is a tiara important? Kelly Akers is a director and she talked about being a tiara bearer. And the main takeaway that I got from her presentation was that being a tiara bearer means you get to live life doing what you love. I want you guys to close your eyes for just a second. This is what she had us do on Leader Day, and think about the things you've already accomplished, maybe with UBAM and maybe not with UBAM throughout your life. And then take a breath and think about, how can the power of the tiara help you achieve more? How can having a solid business that, with, reaching those goals, how can it help you achieve more? Jennifer Hunsinger is another director, and she talks, the reason I love this quote, because it talks about, like, the tiara is awesome, guys. It's cool. You feel like a rock star when you're wearing it. And it's glamorous and fun. But what I love what she said, it is a beautiful, glittery symbol of perseverance, consistency, and grit. The things that we have to overcome in order to get this fancy thing are not glamorous. It means that all of those obstacles, excuses, and roadblocks that presented themselves, you acknowledged them, but then you made another plan and then another. And in the process, you helped people accomplish things they never thought they could. And that is one of the great things about it, is that you're reaching for goals yourself, but the reason that you get there is because you've helped other people along the way. And that feels even more amazing. I went back and forth, I'm getting all nervous now, about whether or not to share the reason why, why for a tiara. But mine is not sparkly or glamorous. Last summer, so I promoted May 1st last year, and by June I was working, but I didn't have a why. I promoted without a why. I just was doing it because I liked reaching the goals. And we had been having some struggles with, our oldest is very bright, but she also had been struggling with some behavior things. She would hold things in at school and church and be like perfect at church and school, and then get home and all that bottled up stuff would lash out. And we thought it was a behavior thing, and we couldn't figure out what it was. And I thought I was just a bad parent. And that summer, right after I promoted, we started realizing that it was a mental health issue, that it was a chemical imbalance. And so we went to a child psychiatrist, and they did like a genetic testing and stuff. And they found that she is like really, really low in serotonin. And she'd been having just issues. She would get really angry, and then she'd be so hopeless feeling afterwards, like, oh my gosh, what's the point of even behaving if I lash out like this? Like, this is horrible. And it was really scary. And at one point, she was talking about wanting to disappear and not wanting to exist anymore. And the psychiatrist was talking about like committing her, like we needed to look into residential programs. And it was terrifying. And I realized that I didn't want her to go to this hospital. It was going to be over the holidays, that she'd be gone away from us, and who knows what other kinds of kids she'd be mixing with. And I couldn't do it. And I said, okay, what are the alternatives? And so he came up with this very comprehensive plan of treatments, multiple kinds of medicines and supplements. And she was getting craniosacral therapy at a chiropractor twice a week, and sessions with him and sessions with a therapist an hour away. So it was a lot. It was so much to take in, but I was able to say, okay, I know what I need to do in order to pay for all of this, because I needed childcare for all the places I needed to go. You know, I couldn't drag my 3 other kids to this stuff. And so I said, okay, I know what to do. And that's my why for the tiara, is I knew what I needed to do in order to have the money that I needed to keep my daughter at home so that she could get better. And she's doing a lot better, you guys. Sometimes she forgets to take her medicine and we notice. It's a big deal. But I am so grateful that we had the means to find her that help. And it is because of the organization that I built when I was working towards my TR. I knew that I could set a goal for December 1st, and I was 2 weeks late, but still, you know, that I knew I needed this amount in order to pay for those things. And now a lot of those sessions have dropped off, and our life is much more free. But fall was hard, you guys, because I was working hard to promote and I was driving her everywhere. And, but it was worth it. So, I want you guys to know that this tiara is awesome. It's pretty, it's fun, and, it's a big deal, but your why doesn't have to be glamorous. It needs to be really strong for you, because this is hard work. So that's done. Let's move on to how we can get How do we get there? How do we get to Tiara Town? This is from Kristen's presentation. She presented about Entrepreneur Academy. So entrepreneur means we're going to get serious. We are serious business owners. And academy, get learning. So going along with that entrepreneur, Christy Wright talked in her session about fear, her talk about fear, about don't play small. When we talk about our little business or our side hustle or whatever, we're painting ourselves small. And the tiara bearers represent less than 1% of the whole company. So you are a big deal. The fact that you're even going for it makes you a big deal. You are not small. She said, your dreams are not little. Your purpose is not little. Stop using little. So start out by dreaming big. Kelly Akers talked about this too. Dream big, and it can be scary, but don't be small. Be big and knock it out of the park. She said the impressive things in life start out as unimpressive things. So you want to get to a tiara, we start with the basics. We party, we recruit, we coach, we promote, and we stay motivated. Partying and recruiting. This is something else Christy Wright said. Do it once. If you have never done it before, just do it. Try it. See how it goes. Do it scared. We've seen a lot today. A lot of these new recruits are talking about how scared they are of their launch parties, and everyone's like, "You got this. You got this." Sometimes we have to do it scared, and then say yes before you know how. I can't tell you the number of times I've been asked to do something as an upper level leader, and I'm like, "All right, I'll figure out how to do that." But saying yes before you know how really teaches you how to dig deep, and that's something that you need to be able to do as a tiara bearer. All right, so in recruiting, I don't know about you guys, but I loved the visual that Christy Wright had about her toddler, because maybe it's because it's so relatable. That if he doesn't want to go somewhere, he like kicks and screams, and then he goes boneless, and you can't drag him anywhere, and it's a big scene. And she talked about that with our teams. We recruit everyone, and I think that this past July was a big example of that. We ask everybody, but we're seeking motivated people. So how are we advertising in our parties and on our walls? How are we advertising this opportunity? What phrases are we using as bait? So like with the kit special, we were like, no minimums, because it's really cheap, and it's like, you might as well just buy these $52 worth of books and get, for $30. And how many kidnappers have we seen, right? So think about how you're wording your Join Me posts and how you're talking about it. Because if we keep talking about no minimums, no quotas, you're going to get a lot of people who want no minimums, no quotas. If you talk about it as an opportunity to earn, or if they need a change in their lives, then you're going to catch more people who are motivated to earn, who are motivated to make that change. I'm already talking about Christmas cash in my parties, and we're going to start including those graphics in our Join Me posts very soon, I'm sure. Because those are like, that's who I want. I don't want a kidnapper. I want someone, even if they only work until Christmas, I want someone on my team who wants to be working and is motivated to earn that money. So remember that we can't motivate unmotivated people. We can't make people care. So again, recruit everybody, but really look for the people who are motivated. And if I see a lot of times people are like, oh, but she's so bright, or, oh, she loves the book so much. Great. But if she's not motivated to then turn around and share them, then it's not helping us any. And if we're serious about building a big organization, we don't have time to drag boneless team members along with us. We need to, give them the tools that they need, but then give them the opportunity to step up. If we're dragging them, we're actually not doing them any favors, because they're never going to learn to take it and run with it. And then we just are doing a lot more work trying to drag them. So with coaching, that's our next step. Share that why. There's a TED talk by Simon Sinek, How Great Leaders Inspire Action. Christy Wright definitely recommended that one. People don't want to work for a paycheck. They want to work for a purpose. Money is the result of the why. So I told you guys I needed money for my daughter's therapies, right? the money was not my why. My daughter was my why. And all of us who have those whys that are important to us, the money is not it. It's what we're using the money for. And so we need to convey that when we're coaching our team. And why we're doing something affects how we do it. If we are serious if we're in it for us, then we're going to show that. But if we're in it to help other people, then it's going to affect how we coach, how we lead. Know your team, know their why, know their colors, know how they respond, what they respond to, because that is going to help you a ton. And then cultivate progress and speak belief into them is what she said. They want to prove you right. When you talk about how much you believe in them, they're going to want to prove you right. They want to step up into that role. Sarah Medley talked about team culture a lot. She talked about how our brains are wired to close gaps. She talked about the difference between connection and culture. And connection is very one-on-one and based on our own personalities and how we connect with people. But culture is broad and it applies to everybody. Our culture helps fill in those gaps with positive, motivating cues. We're so lucky to be on a team with such a strong culture that we can convey to our team. Literacy and liberty says it all, right? Literacy, we want to get books into as many kids' hands as possible. Liberty, we're all about that freedom, right? And how to help how to empower these women that we're working with to achieve that freedom. And what a supportive environment this is, you guys. Like, not all teams are like this. We're so blessed to be able to work together. We want people to belong. And that's why it's so great that we have this culture that permeates everything we're doing, because when people belong, studies have shown that they work 50% harder and enjoy it more. As coaches, we need to over-communicate. Don't assume that they understood what you meant. Over-communicate that you're listening. Those classic cues of like, can you clarify that for me? Or do you mean this? Really show that you're listening. Over-communicate appreciation and thank yous. Your leaders, your team members will work way harder when they receive thank yous because they know that they're being appreciated. And then over-communicate your priorities, that culture, all of that. Really, you can't reiterate it enough. All right, coaching and promoting. This was Kristen's presentation. One thing that I am working on really hard this fall is I want to coach all the way through Success Bound. And I feel like lately I've been having a lot of people drop off after the launch party, but we need to coach them all the way through Success Bound. We need to be in their hostess parties. We need to be helping them all the way through Success Bound. There's a reason why it's called Success Bound, not just because you get a success kit, but because that symbolizes that they've been through a few hostess parties and now they're ready to kind of go on their own and be an independent member of your team. Those of you who were there on Leader Day will remember the two film clips that Kristen showed. The first was from Remember the Titans, and it was about the Finn playbook. It's not the skinny playbook, coach. We run one play. It's coaching and promoting, right? We promote leaders, and that is how we get to the Tiara. That's how we're getting to Branson, is we promote leaders. That's our one play. The other film clip was from League of Their Own, where Tom Hanks and Michelle Pfeiffer were giving the two conflicting symbols from the dugout, and the batter was really confused. And then finally Tom Hanks, as the coach, takes over, and she gets a hit, scores, a run, hooray, they won, right? But Michelle Pfeiffer is now benched in the dugout. She has been, she's stepped down, and we don't want to hobble our first lines that way. We want to coach through the first line leader always. A strong first line leader is going to help you build that depth that you need. If you are doing all the coaching yourself, first of all, it's a lot more work. And second of all, you won't have the strength that you need to build a Tiara worthy organization. She talked about how we build people and then we build trust, and that helps us build something big. We have to start there. And then I don't remember where this quote came from that she shared, but she said, "You will never be without purpose if you commit to help others find their place." Again, it's about that culture. It's about the why. If we're committing to help other people find their place, we will always have a reason to be in this business. Okay, staying motivated. Oh no, I cut off Heather Cobb. I'm so sorry, Heather. She's right there. But so Christy Wright said, give what you want to get. If we're overly dramatic and negative, it's going to reflect in our team. So stay positive, stay motivated, and your team will reflect that. She shared the Zig Ziglar quote, people say motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing, and that's why we recommend it daily. Sometimes we need that motivation every single day. And Christy Wright shared a few, let me see, ways that she gets motivated. She said, get moving, have good music, remember your why, connect with a friend, and take the first step. Just like, remember she said, do it once. Sometimes just doing it once is what we need to do to get motivated again. Sometimes if I'm in a party slump, I just need to get one party and rock it, and then I'm out of it. I'm able to, I have that, I just need a win. Sometimes we just need a win. So do what you need to do if you're in a slump to get that win that day. Heather Cobb gave a great talk. I think it opened Leader Day actually, about self-leadership. And she talked about what are we reflecting to our team. And she used the acrostic for mirror. Let me make sure I have this right. So maturity is continuing maturity and self-understanding, just making sure that we're being mature enough to understand that we might not be doing everything perfectly right then. Influence yourself first. Reflection. In this case, it's not a mirror reflection. It's pondering our experience, our learning, and then applying it. Recognition is awareness. Be yourself and be aware of your own strengths and your own weaknesses. Objective. Be objective and based on facts. Don't be emotional about making decisions. And then finally is resolve. Which means resolve to do something. The question isn't who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me, from Ayn Rand. Those things can help us identify some problems and where we need to kind of change things in order to stay motivated and keep on that course. All right. This quote is another one that Kristen shared. Personal growth is misleading because it sounds like it's going to be fun. But if we called it deliberately making yourself so uncomfortable, it'll feel like you're dying. Nobody would do it and we'd be totally screwed. And so this process is not easy, you guys. I promise that there are tears. There are days that you're going to this is why we have Uzzy buddies, so that we can say, I don't want to do this today. And your Uzzy buddy can, let you have your moment and then help you get out of it. It gets uncomfortable. So just remember, there is a sweet spa in Branson waiting for you guys in January, and then you can relax all that discomfort away. It's going to be awesome, but there is going to be some discomfort beforehand. So choose now to be uncomfortable and stretch now to get yourself to that spa later. And more importantly, to that big goal of the tiara and what it means. Unfortunately, this is showing, I can't show you the whole quote. Let me see if I can move this. Jody Moore is a Latter-day Saint life coach, and she has some really great thoughts for people. I follow her on Instagram, and she posted this yesterday or the day before, and I loved it. She said, the more uncomfortable you're willing to be, the more you can make a change in yourself. Eating less junk food will change your body, but it won't feel as good as eating treats. Dating a lot of men is the best way to find the one man you want, but it will mean going on a lot of uncomfortable dates too. And then this fourth paragraph is about, she talked about blogging, but I changed it to be our business. Partying and coaching consistently every week without fail will help you to build a strong business, but sometimes you won't feel like working and you'll need to do it anyway. And then she finishes with, are you willing to be uncomfortable, or are you choosing the discomfort of not pursuing your goals instead? So remember that this process can be uncomfortable. But just think, in January when ELC comes around, if you chose to stay a little bit more in your comfort zone now, how will you feel in January when you didn't try hard for that goal? So just remember that pushing through that discomfort will get you where you want to go ultimately. So finally, I hope I get to see all of you guys in Branson. It's January 9th through 11th. Don't schedule anything. Make sure that you have that on your calendar. It's on your vision board, and do what you need to do to get there. So that's what I've got. I'm going to stop sharing and see if there's anything in the chat. Oh, thanks. Oh, sorry. Melanie sent me a message privately about my daughter. Thank you. Thanks so much, Jen. I'm so glad. And congratulations on your baby. You'll have to show us lots more pictures. So does anyone have any other questions or thoughts or other things from convention that really stuck out to you guys that you would like to share? Okay, well then we will go ahead and sign off. Guys, this only took 25 minutes. I'm so proud of myself for not rambling. Yay! All right, oh, thanks, Sylvia. You guys are all awesome. And the reason why we're here is because you guys are all Tiara material. You just have to get there. So yes, everyone needs to promote so we can have a reunion. Exactly. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have the best time. I miss you guys a lot. So that's why it's so great that we have ELC in January and convention in June, because then we can see each other like at regular intervals twice a year. It's great. So I'm really excited to see you all again in January, and work hard. And if you need an Udsy buddy to complain to, I'm here. I've had those days too, but I promise you that it's worth it. You guys are amazing. Okay, I'm going to figure out how to turn this off. I hope you guys have a good Tuesday night.